Why the hell not?
Go for him.
Going in.
Let's see. What should we start with here?
If it gets too hard, let me know. I can tone the difficulty down.
All right, everybody. I want to welcome you to Sertas' Jiggly test. We're going to test the Jigglies. All the Jigglies.
Jigglypuff?
I don't think you're going to pass that test, Sertas.
I jiggle everything I do at Jiggly.
Everything
I'm
jiggles.
sure he will.
Everything jiggles. There's too much stuff going on. I can't see what's going on the screen.
Interesting,
I'm
Sertas.
doing the fetish army build,
Interesting.
so I'm going to show my fetish off tonight.
You're going to show your fetish off tonight.
My.
I thought this was a family-friendly stream. What the hell?
See, I've already got 3 fetishes.
Oh, shit. I mean, oh,
Hey,
shoot.
lemon limes.
Arcane dust,
Mate.
grab it!
I actually have my own rant for tonight.
Lemon Limes, jiggle it, yo.
And it's not one
Jiggly.
of yours, actually. It's
Good evening,
one from
Lemon
work.
Limes. All right, we're gonna start off with one of my favorites here for Sertas' rant. We're gonna see if we can take the rant meter off right away, just like we try to do every week. For those that don't know, Sertas has a notoriety of going on rants on certain topics. So we try to always get him to see if we can trigger one of these rants, and the first topic is obviously the main one I try to pick out and get a good rant on. So here we go. First topic of the night: Dad caught on tape kicking son down skateboard ramp.
What?
A man was caught kicking
Was
his
it
son
Tony Hawk?
down no down a skateboard ramp.
Okay,
Was it Tony
nice.
Hawk?
Okay.
Nice one. Oh, that's awesome. Was it Tony Hawk? Oh,
All
God,
right.
I love it. All
So,
right.
a child is sick. The son is 6 years old. Was hesitating at the top of a ramp, a skateboard ramp. The father seemingly becomes impatient with his son and gives him a little boot on his butt and kicks him over the ramp. Now, in full disclaimer, he goes down feet first, kind of like slides along the ramp on his butt, so he doesn't really get hurt.
I thought he
But
broke
you can
something.
clearly see in the video, he's standing there, and his father gives him a kick, and down he goes. So,
Now, who's stupid enough to record this?
one of the people at the skate park recorded it, not
Oh, okay.
Dad
I
and
thought the
son.
dad. I thought the dad.
Oh, you
recorded
gotta
it.
be flipping kidding me.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
these
already.
guys hurt.
So, Sertas, what do you think of this?
Well, okay. How old is the kid?
6 years old.
Wow. What is he doing at the skateboard park anyway?
Apparently getting kicked
apparently
down.
learning
Apparently
how
getting
to
kicked down
do
the...
it.
Yeah, okay.
Shall we wait for
Everybody's
I'm
got
down here.
jokes. Apparently he's getting kicked down the... Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
That was a lot of poison. Ouch.
Oh, okay.
Kyle, we're ready to kill this
Maybe
elite.
I should just stay back and not fight anything.
Sorry, I just hit 70, so I was trying to see what upgrades I had to throw on real quick.
Okay, no problem.
I feel like I just got kicked down a skateboard park. So, okay. Look. Anybody that kicks their child should be kicked. Like,
What if a grandfather kicks his son?
then the son should be able to kick the grandfather.
Okay. So it
Actually,
doesn't keep
the
going
son
down.
should be able to bend it like Beckham on the grandfather if he wanted to. I said it, bend it like Beckham. Holy crap!
I'm British and I'm.
I am
to
going to
say that.
stop attacking things because I am getting beat up like a slave right now. So
Oh, I got a legendary polearm.
Our resident black person, just so
How
you
is
guys
that
know.
different than any other
Normal?
time?
Yeah,
but at least
I
I get a kiss first if I'm normally. Jiminy Christmas, they're wow. This is crazy.
Whoa!
From your
Check
wife
out this polearm
before she
holy
beats
cow.
Polearm.
Oh.
Whoa. Hello.
That's
2,300 damage.
2,300 damage. Wow. That's how we rating our pole arms now.
Now, yeah.
So-
if it had a socket, ooh, yeah.
Heart
All right,
slaughter.
so
Wow.
to keep
that's
on
nice.
more on one topic, guys.
Oh.
So, Sertas, are we going to ding up your rant meter for this?
No.
What do you think?
I mean, no. I don't think
that
that's.
doesn't get you
No.
ranting.
It's. No. I'm not going to rant.
Is this like the like Shock Factor TV where they show us only so much, they show us so much, and we just kind of become numb to it? That a father kicking their 6-year-old son down a skateboard ramp doesn't shock you anymore.
It's shocking, but it's like, why would you do? I don't understand why somebody would do that.
There's
Why-
too much
okay,
violence
why
in the
kick
world
'em?
today?
Well, he was
Why
impatient.
kick him?
Because his son was standing there looking down, and he was just impatient.
Yeah, okay, but
I don't know why
that
he's
doesn't
trying to
understand.
be a pro skater
That
or
doesn't
something.
explain the kick.
Was the
That
son
just
suffering
explains
from
that the father is a flipping idiot.
Oh, another child went up to him and confronted the father. This is like probably a 10 or 12-year-old by the video, and he asked him why he did that, and the father replied, because he needs to learn.
He needs to learn to get kicked, or needs to learn not to be afraid.
The father needs to learn abstinence.
Oh,
That's what needs to be learned here. The father needs to learn abstinence, or he needs to learn how to put on a condom. Or, better yet, he needs to learn the word
That's a lot of
vasectomy.
lasers. Holy crap.
yeah.
Oh, these are all good words that father should learn.
What was the last one?
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy.
Yeah. Or, and this is a
Castration?
crowd favorite, castration.
That's it.
There you go. Now, at the end of this whole thing, the father said he was caught up in the moment, and he seemed very remorseful to the guy that operates the skate park. And he says he understood the gravity of the situation, understands it, but if he wasn't caught, do you think he would be remorseful? and
Absolutely
understand the
not.
gravity?
His son, I bet you his son learned one thing. His son learned about gravity today, too.
Oh god.
Not the movie,
No.
I mind you.
Oh.
Newton's gravity.
I just think it's bull.
That's just wrong.
A father would treat her own child like that. You know,
Watch
it's
for
your
fire.
children, not
Uh-oh.
I don't know if his
Run away.
ambition was, to make him do stuff, not to hesitate, but it's crap.
Yeah, I think
We have
I
a
think
little more
it's-
meat shields thanks to Kaibi.
I think
Perhaps
it's
the
the
question would be, what would the father felt if some other person had come up and pushed his son down?
Oh, he'd have been like, you can't do that to my boy. I'm assuming that's his dialect. Look at here now.
do it to my boy.
You can't be beating him like that. That's my job. If anybody's gonna sleep with my sister, it's gonna be me.
What?
Wait, you have a sister?
Yeah, I have 2. 3. Sorry, I forgot about one.
I actually just
Wait.
wanted to know what that teaches the kid too.
Oh,
so yeah,
It teaches the kid not to go out. It teaches the kid not to go to the skateboard park with his dad. That's what it teaches him.
I was going to say, it taught him that gravity works.
gravity works.
As a bully?
All right, we'll chalk one up on the rant
9.6
meter.
meters per second
Sertas
square.
is pro line for the night. Well, the kid now understands the gravity of the situation too.
Oh,
That's the pro line right there. There
Yeah,
it is.
and my response is, gravity works.
I can promise you, I have another pro line coming.
Okay.
I racked up the rant meter once because I did a little baby rant.
So it was a baby rant. Okay,
baby rant.
let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger.
Oh,
The Department of Justice. Do you guys need to get any talking of the game out of your way real quick? Before
No,
the next
go
one?
ahead.
All right. The Department of Justice complains about having to get a warrant to search mobile phones. Okay, we'll start there on this.
Wait. They're getting warrants now? I thought they were
Wait
just
for the summary. Wait for the summary. Maybe
Okay.
it'll sound better in the summary.
All right.
All right. The Department of Justice filed a brief in a case, and the brief was for U.S. versus Worry, complaining that the advancement of encryption and other technology is moving too fast, and that criminals could wipe their phone or other devices before police could crack it open,
Oh.
or
Poor
obtain
government.
a warrant to be allowed to.
I think the
Oh.
government
Whoa,
needs
wait,
to...
one sec. So
Sorry,
for the
I
same
have been
for that
lying.
reason, they state that they shouldn't have to get a warrant because it could take too long to get the incriminating evidence.
Oh.
All right. Now your comments. AMD, go ahead first.
Sure. I think if the government needs to learn how to hack into phones, they should be asking Fox News and the News of the World on how they do it so well.
Edward Snowden.
Edward Snowden of the NSA. But
Yeah,
we're
go to the
talking
NSA.
we're talking about more so smaller police departments, but yeah, it ends up being on a larger scale too. All right, Sertas, go.
Okay. 1. I thought they were done with that whole warrant thing. They weren't doing that no more. Oh, these are regular police officers, not the NSA. My bad.
Well, and these are like for
For what
regular
you said,
criminals. This isn't for their
Okay.
security.
I got the solution.
black rooms.
I got the solution. Regular police departments should just contract the NSA to do it for them. And then they won't have to worry about warrants.
Dude, the NSA takes too long. I'm telling you.
Illegal for
News
hire.
of the World can do it way faster, bro. If you haven't been following that story for a few years.
I just think it's just... Wow. So it takes too long for due process. Here's my thing. Go out and hire somebody that's really good at this stuff. Surely, I mean, that's what they portray that you guys do on TV.
Surely, if it's on TV, it must be accurate.
No. But hire somebody. Stop being stingy and pay people. You
But
want people to do something right in this country, pay them. You too busy
Okay,
trying to
but
be as
that's-
cheap as possible, and that's why stuff doesn't happen.
That still doesn't get to the core issue, is them complaining that they have to get a warrant.
Oh, well, I'm
to
going
be
to
able
ignore
do
the
it.
core issue because the core issue is just flipping stupid.
Well, the whole
But-
warrant thing is, and anytime they pull you over, oh, you look suspicious. I'm taking your phone so we can look through it to see if you've been doing
Right.
anything naughty.
Yep.
Fire thingy here, guys.
Fire
It hurts a
thingy?
lot.
Is that
Oh,
a
God,
technical
it hurts a
term?
lot. It hurts a lot.
Always make sure you have a password on your phone, because if it's taken from you, they cannot break it.
Yeah.
Traditionally without a warrant.
Without a warrant.
But in this thing,
But
They
nowadays,
didn't have a warrant to do it.
this is what happens nowadays. What they'll do is they'll say, well, obviously you got something to hide, otherwise you wouldn't have a password on your phone.
See, my friend worked for SAP and used to work at the Pentagon. Both the times they gave him secure phones that had to have passwords.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure the jurisdiction of the local police department doesn't override the, Pentagon. And
I just say, of course I have something to hide from my wife.
I would say it's none of your business if I got something to hide or
Ice is
not.
right behind me, for anyone listening. She sits
so
behind me
we
at her
should,
computer when I stream
we
this.
should hide your body grates.
Yeah, if a new concrete patio gets laid in the next week or two, guys, look
Wow.
for me under there.
And if Grates is suddenly silent, then we know what happened.
Great.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know where to look for you in the first place.
Grates, we would.
By the way, if
He's in
anyone
St.
else wants
Louis.
to take point,
We
you
we
can, 'cause
we
I
would
am
get
so
bones.
lost.
We would get bones. We would contract bones in the Jeffersonian. They find them.
Bones from the Jeffersonian.
Bones and the
Yes, you're right.
Jeffersonian. They find them.
You also could get Nicolas Cage in there too.
No, Nicolas Cage ain't. He can't find stuff.
No, we
National
have to
Treasure?
get what's
National
its
Treasure.
name?
Oh, yeah, but he needs clues. He only works on clues for Benjamin Franklin. So,
All right, we got a little off topic here. So, Sertas, back on topic
There's a
here.
goblin
Do you
further
think
down,
the
guys.
police should be required to get warrants to be able to get into your
Absolutely.
cell phone?
Absolutely, they need warrants. It's their fault they're moving too slow. Hire some good contractors, and you wouldn't have to worry about moving too slow. What
But
they
they're
want
saying
is to
that-
be
they're
what
saying
they
the
want is to
criminals-
be able to pull somebody over and just go through their phone.
But we have data recovery tools too.
You look suspicious. Give me your phone.
Yeah, but they're saying the criminals can wipe it to be the point of not being able to do a data recovery, which
Well,
is very
that's
much
what I'm saying.
possible.
All they're going to do is say, "You look suspicious. Give me your phone."
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I fully agree. That's
They're going to pull you over on a traffic stop. Give me your phone.
Yep. Good evening, Split Shade. Split Shade says warrants are OP. So I think he agrees.
Nice. Warrants are OP. Because
Yeah, I
they
think
let
they're
let
necessary.
people that you don't need. I mean, we forget police officers are human beings too. You know, we try to hold them up to a certain standard, but the fact of the matter is, they're humans, and so they're gonna fall into the same pitfalls as anybody else. You try to hold them to a higher standard where they're office, they should know better. Yeah, they should know better, but everybody should know better. For instance, to give you a clue, I'll do something topical to Detroit because that's where I'm from and that's what I know. We had a mayor. There was a scandal with this clown on his government phone. What in the world? On his government phone, he was having an affair with his chief of staff. They were texting each other on a government phone, the phone that the city of Detroit gave him.
Really?
So you should expect that, one, you're going to get caught. And two, you're going to get caught. And three, you really going to get caught. It's dumb. It's idiotic. So in that case, he got to wipe it before we figured out what was on there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. You shouldn't do dumb. The point of this, the point of this little escapade here, just don't do dumb stuff. Don't do dumb stuff.
Well, see, the thing is, they can just pull some next level NSA crap and pull the phone records. Who cares they wiped the phone?
Right. But I mean, if the phone records will just say who you talk to, it won't say what was on your phone. Holy crap, I'm getting beat like a slave. Run away. The phone records won't show. Oh crap, I'm running to man. I died.
Yeah,
the pulling the phone records will only show who you have or have not called. It won't show what actually was on your phone, what you said, what you talked about. And I say it's none of their dang on business. So yeah, they need to get a warrant. In summary, get a damn warrant. If you too slow, buy a better computer. Or, alternatively, feed the hamsters in your current computers super grow so they can go ahead and work faster.
I'm confused though. Computers searching phones versus them querying the phones. Are they having access to these phones via the computers, or they already have the phone?
There's a goblin right over here, guys.
Or are we talking searching phone records?
I think what they're saying is they pull somebody over. They can set the phone to, or they get found out. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's found out that you guys are looking at somebody. The cops looking at somebody. I found out the criminals can go ahead and wipe the phone before they can get a chance to get to it to do anything. So they're losing valuable information. I say get better at your techniques of finding out the information. That's your fault.
I'm gonna go vendor some stuff.
You pretty much have it nailed on the head. They get the phone, then they have to wait for a warrant to be able to crack it open, and that time the criminals erased it, basically.
But you can't. How you gonna get a warrant for a phone that you don't have in your possession anyway? Once you have the phone in your possession,
search warrant, sir?
Huh?
Search warrant?
No, what I'm saying. Okay, a search warrant. You talking about a search warrant?
Yeah.
Hey.
You can get a search warrant to obtain stuff from a person's house.
Yeah.
And that's the scope of it.
Well, do better. Oh crap, I'm dying. Do better at getting a search warrant. I'm sorry.
I agree. Yeah, Lemon Limes totally agrees with you. Metadata only reflects who and when the connection was made. I
say that they need to start working for the information that they get. I'm sorry, it's a slippery slope when you just start letting them. When you start letting.
Where the heck is our tank?
You know.
I said I was vendoring.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
It might have been. I heard it might have been suppressed by the Sertas rant. That should be number 2 on the meter now.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna bump it up to 3 because I know another one's coming.
No, not yet, not yet. Wolves, did you have anything to say on it? Briefly, quick. We'll let you start out the next one.
No, it's just basically this is ridiculous. They're basically First it'll be phones, then it'll be, we don't need a search warrant for their car because they could get rid of all the evidence. Next it'll be we don't need a search warrant for their house, they could burn everything. You
bring up a very good point, Wolf.
You start with one, it all goes downhill from there.
Now we're going to find out Greats burnt his house down.
No.
No, Icy burnt it down to hide the evidence of killing me.
No,
you bring up a good point, though, Wolf. They've had to get search warrants for
killing you. She'd be getting a Presidential Medal of Honor. I'd be giving a medal.
Wow.
Nice. Thanks.
Wow.
They've had to get search warrants for 200 years. They have had to have those search warrants to be able to submit evidence, and there's been stuff thrown out because they didn't have search warrants properly.
And it should.
Why should now be any different for our cell phones, which are our telephones, that kind of data? Any data stored on our personal devices. Why should it be any different?
You had to have search warrants, search a person's body, or search their phone records, or tap their phone.
You don't need a warrant to search your body.
Oh, you don't?
Not anymore.
Reasonable suspicion.
Oh.
No, it's always been a reasonable suspicion or warranted suspicion of things like gun or
try to
drugs,
find the smaller areas,
things like that.
You don't have to deal with your fire chains.
Or if they pull you over and suspect you of, holding on to something on your person, that kind of thing. All right. So this probably isn't a big thing for you, Sertas. You'll probably like this one. Amazon is sticking it to Apple. They are turning off in-app purchases for Comixology, I think it's what it's called, to prevent Apple from receiving a 30% cut of the in-app purchases. What this does is it forces users to go to the website to buy the comics that will then show up on their app in the phone. Now, little quick background for you guys. Comixology allows you to read comic books on your Apple iPad, phone, whatever. So it would allow you to read a comic. So you started the Green Lantern series. You buy comic book 1, great. Then you could go and buy the entire series right from your iPad. Then you could buy, 10 years of it right there. But Apple would take a 30% cut of whatever you purchased. Just for the fact that they're providing a way to purchase it in the app.
X people right here, guys. I'll wait for y'all to regroup.
So, what Amazon is doing is they're removing that feature, and now you got to go to the website to purchase everything. So it's not right on hand, but they're also not giving a 30% cut either. You guys think this is going to do good for Apple, good for Amazon, bad for Amazon, kind of hurt the app, or it won't really matter? Wolf, you're up first.
I got a vendor real quick, guys. Sorry.
You want my opinion on Apple?
No,
I hate Apple.
Amazon and Apple. And this particular instance, we're not taking any other biases into account right now.
I guess it could hurt. It could hurt Apple because they're not getting their 30% cut, and Amazon's making them do an extra step, so they could get hurt for business.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of the mindset that it's going to hurt the Amazon Comixology a little bit more because the ease of access to be able to read something and then purchase it right there, it's kind of like having all the candy bars in the section right at the front where you check out. It's an impulse buy. Having that right available in the app means you're more likely to just do it.
Yeah, and if you can't get access to it right away and you have to go to the website, some people just want to do it right there on the phone right now, or whatever device they have, instead of having to go get it and then load it onto your phone. Some people just don't want to mess with that.
Well, you don't have to really load it onto your phone. You would have to load it no matter what. What you just have to do is purchase it for your username, for your Apple user account under the website. And then Amazon doesn't have to pay a 30% cut.
People trying to save a dime here. It's just.
Well, I think they're doing a gamble, and they're one of the largest companies out there that can possibly contend with Apple. I think they're going, let's see how this works. If we can remove the ability, if we can not suffer as much loss as we do from Apple, if we make more than that 30% cut, if we pick that up, then we're good. So for every purchase, if we're picking up, 105% of the current sales, we're good. If that
don't they risk alienating Apple?
They do risk alienating people, but again, it's a profit margin. So let's say under Apple, people have purchased $1,000 total, but $700 of it goes into Amazon's pocket, and $300 goes to Apple. If they can make people purchase $800 of comic books through the website and leave out Apple, then they've made $100 profit right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even though they're alienating, $200 worth of people, they've still kept their core and are making more money than when they cut them out.
They're true fans. The true fans will keep on buying it. They'll go to whatever means necessary to get their product.
AMD,
I think that people will just switch to something that's easier to use.
I mean, I'm not a big digital comics or Android or Apple iTunes store, so I'm not too sure on their financial structures. If Apple is taking 30%, that's quite a bit. That is quite a bit.
It is. The story reports it.
Because, Apple's taking 30. Amazon's probably not making the other 70% because, the comic book, whoever they are, Marvel, DC, whatever, they probably have a cut. So,
I just think people would switch to start using apps that they can still buy stuff because at the end of the day, here's the thing: are they going to lower the prices by that 30%?
No,
probably not.
Exactly.
No,
so
they're just making you go to the website to get it.
Right. So why would I if I could buy in-app in another if I could do in-app purchases in another app, that's what I'm going to do. I'll just stop using that one particular app.
The problem is you can't for Comixology because that's the specific one for at least DC Comics is what I'm looking at, but probably Marvel.
Marvel has their own. Holy crap!
So
yeah,
it's
Marvel has their own.
It's one of the few ones that allows you to
also, I think,
purchase your
works
comics.
for a lot of the independent publishers like IDW, Dark Horse, Top Cow, I believe.
So here's something also important to know.
Dynamite.
For Android, they are adding the in-app purchase, and iPhone and iPad they're taking it out. So they're
hell no, that's just dumb.
And iPad and iPhone they're taking it out. Well, they don't suffer the 30% in-app purchase.
Yeah, that's probably why. In this case, if it's Apple, if Apple is just taking it for for 30% of any marketplace transaction that happens using their device, then I agree that should be removed.
Yeah, they are taking the 30% cut
simply
because it's an in-app purchase, and they take it across the board on everyone.
Yeah, so if
that's a little extreme.
They take it across the board from everyone. Okay, here's the thing: if your digital comic costs a certain amount of money, and it's the same in Android because if you're gonna take it, if you're gonna make me go to the website and purchase it, then you better give me a discount on it. There's no way just because I'm in an Apple infrastructure that I'm gonna turn around and keep using
Here's
your
the thing,
app.
Sertas, though.
Huh?
On that argument, though, if they were to give it to you in Apple, they should charge you more because they're not making the base $3 price on it.
Exactly.
They should be charging you $3.30.
Yep.
Because they're losing money on that.
Around $3.
No, they should. It's the part of doing business.
See, you can't have it both ways, Sertas.
I'm saying it's part of doing business.
But
it's part. If you're part of the Apple
Android
infrastructure, that's part of doing business in the Apple infrastructure. Just get over it.
Well, that's the thing. Apple's not the only ball game to go to. There's Android, there's Windows. So if you have an Apple phone, what you do is you run the risk of alienating anybody that uses that app on Apple. And what somebody's going to do, some enterprising person is going to find a way to make the app, or some other company is going to step up. There's tons of ways to read comics illegally. Mm-hmm. Trust me on that.
I know that. Yeah. What I'm saying is, DC might say, okay, fine. Then we'll just make our own app and put it on the iPhone.
But I think that's what Amazon is doing, is they are taking the gamble to see just what will happen. Because if they, like I said earlier, if they can cut out Apple and still make a profit over what they were making because they were losing money, I think that it's a win-win for them.
Yeah, exactly.
They've cut out Apple. They've shown other people that don't stand for Apple's 30% cut of in-app purchase,
which
ridiculous. That is
ridiculous. Extremely ridiculous.
People are providing apps so that people buy iPhones. So the people that provide apps,
but but here's the thing, guys. What I don't think we're taking into consideration. Apple has been doing this since they started the App Store. And yet there are people out there. I mean, let's not forget there are a lot of apps come out on Apple's first still, and people are still making money doing it.
Yes.
So I mean,
people want a 30% cut take.
Right. So if
Guardians Jeopardy,
I would put money on it that Comixology already took into account when they made the app. We're gonna have to if we do in-app purchases, they're gonna take 30%. So let's just charge and factor in that 30%. Any good company is going to factor in the cost of business.
The one that's losing money, not the people who wrote the app, and not Apple.
See, Comixology was purchased by Amazon. So
well, that's Amazon's fault for purchasing something, and they were going to lose money on it. That's their bad.
Well, now that you've purchased something you're going to lose money on, how...
well, they're not losing money on it. They were still making money,
it's not as profitable as it could be.
So it's not
like every other company is going to try to optimize profits while reducing costs, right?
Sertas,
so your business survives.
Let's stop for a second. Let me pose this question to you, Sertas. If I give you $10 and take away $5 and say I'm taxing you because you're 5 feet away from me, what are you going to do? I'm going to hand you another $10 in 1 minute. What are you going to do because the tax applies as long as you're within 5 feet of me? What are you going to do?
Take a step back.
That's my point. That's exactly what Amazon is doing.
But taking a step back, in that analogy, taking a step back is far less hassle because I'm going to take the step back. But what I'm not going to do is tell somebody else to take the step back for me.
But I mean, here's the thing. It's like a parent telling. It's like, in that same analogy, if you told your kid to get away from grades, which most people would say is a good idea.
Bad analogy there.
I mean, that goes without saying. That's a foregone conclusion. Holy crap! What was that?
Here's the way to do it, sir. Here's the better analogy.
Run!
Yeah, there's in that corner.
There's 3 people that are within 5 feet from me. I tell them 2 of you are going to get the money. Whoever I've chosen 2 of you to step back, and if the right 2 are picked, all you guys get money. But if the wrong 2 are picked, you don't. Who's stepping back and who's staying close?
I'm stepping back.
It's a gamble at that point, and that's what Amazon is trying to decide. And I think they're doing it about as best way as they can, as seeing and the free market can do it. They're taking one extra step for Apple users, and that's to tell them to go to the website. So it's a little bit.
But the whole point, a lot of the point of these apps is convenience. Successful apps are convenient. It is not convenient to have to go out of the app and go to a website and pull up the website to go buy comics. That is not convenient.
Well, I have a solution for you, Sertas. Take your Apple phone, toss it out the window, and go buy an Android.
No.
Because Apple sucks.
Suggestion.
Apple does not. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. For what I do on my phone, Android sucks. I use my phone for 3 things. I use it to text. So let's break it down. The 3 things that Sertas does on his phone. I text on my phone. Do we agree that texting is it's innocuous? It's something that all of them do. Okay, that's a standard feature. I talk on my phone. All phones, whether Android or Apple, should be able to do this, right?
Uh-huh.
The other thing I do,
new one or
huh?
You guys want to continue this rift, or shall I make a new one?
I don't know, guys. I don't really. I mean, I don't run that many rifts. So it's up to you.
All right. Let's all go back to town then.
Because I haven't finished looting.
Okay. It's up to you to close the rift, Kai.
Oh crap! Run away. Run far away, Sertas. Okay, and so the third thing that I do on my phone is I have yet to find. Oh crap! I'm about to die, guys. I'm about to die horribly.
Come over to me while I'll tank for you.
Yeah.
Or just stand there in the corner and die.
I was trying to get out the corner. Okay, the
Just
third.
stand in the corner.
Yeah. The third thing I do on my phone is I listen to podcasts. Now, the Apple...
I could never get that Apple podcast thing to work.
Well, it works great for me. The Apple app is the best app that I have used for podcasts. And the reason why is because I download 20, 30 different podcasts. What I wanted to do is play from the oldest to the newest. I don't care if it's a video or audio, play it. So if one is audio, the next one is video, and then go back to audio, I want you to play them in order. The Apple app, iPod app is, the app for Apple is the only one that does that. There is not one that exists on Android. That's
Stitcher.
Huh?
Stitcher
doesn't do it.
Stitcher works just fine for me. That's all I'm saying.
But will Stitcher allow you to? So what you're saying is
nice. Perfect with this all.
I listen to 5 podcasts and I play them as soon as they're available.
Okay, but are any of them video?
No.
Okay, that's my point. What I said was I download about 20, 30 podcasts. Some are audio, some are video. The Apple app will play
the audio portions of them.
Huh?
Some of them are on Twitch, but I downloaded the audio portions of them.
What?
Anyways, go
okay.
ahead.
What format are podcasts if are in audio? I don't know. Mallcast has come online. Watch out there now. Somebody gonna revive me? I guess not. I'll revive in town. All right. So what I'm saying is the Apple app plays my podcasts in order from oldest to newest, and it doesn't matter if it's a video podcast or audio podcast. It will play them in order. There is not an app that I found on Android that will do that and will be reliable. So for what I do, Apple does everything I want it to do. The only thing I wish Apple would do is come out with a phone with a bigger screen. They come out with a phone with a bigger screen, and I'm there.
I have the Note 3, so I have my big screen for all my work stuff. No problem.
I don't know. Apple irritates me because they put such restrictions on apps, and if they see something they like, they're like, "Oh, sorry, nobody else can do this. We'll make our own application." And they kill free marketing. They only let certain things on their store. Oh, we like this. We're gonna use this, and nobody else can make one. That's what makes.
And I agree. That's I agree that's a bad thing. I don't particularly care about it because my phone does exactly what I want it to do. Are there things that I wish that Apple would change? Absolutely. Wouldn't even sit here and lie to you. However, those are things that I'm willing to look past to be able to do all the other stuff that I want to do. It's just, that's so for me, the it's a great phone. It's a great infrastructure, and quite honestly, it just works. I've spent $20, $30 on apps in the Google infrastructure, and none of them do what this Apple does. So that's why I do it. Sure, there's problems with it. Jesus Christ, 200,000. Only got 3. That's wrong.
Yeah,
right,
gems. Combining gems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone up.
I'm not making enough money. I need cashola.
Blizzard's talking about reducing that price, but they haven't done a patch yet.
Well, they need to get off their butt and do it because that's ridiculous. Oh crap! I just received 70. Oh, I just got 14 million experience.
Yeah,
yo. Holy crap! I need 72 million experience.
So I think you were mentioning a little while ago, Wolves, but the about Plants vs Zombies not being a good game for PC anymore. Like they weren't releasing them for PC anymore.
Yeah, I saw that last week. I'm actually quite happy, but it's not.
Let me tell everyone else what we're talking about first. We are talking about the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare PC release date being announced. It's already on Xbox One and 360, but it's going to be available via Origin and other retailers. So welcome to EA's pay portal. Now, though, while it did not support microtransactions at launch, it was announced yesterday that the ability to purchase in-game items with real-world money will be added to the title.
That frustrates me. Then they're going to patch and be like, oh, here's all these extra damage boosts and damage mitigation, all those other special abilities you can only have if you give us your money. That's what frustrates me. That's what the Plants vs. Zombie app on my tablet, I can only get so far in the game before I have to buy extra stuff. It's just...
Well, right now, I think you can go all the way, but you have to grind out stuff.
Yeah. Well, there is certain things you have to grind out, but it's frustrating. They took a good company, PopCap Games, which made decent games. You bought the game for $8-9 or whatever, and it's like, okay, you bought the game, then you get all of it for free. Now the app is free.
Let me switch to my monk.
But you have to
I'll stick with Crusader.
Pay a certain amount, if you want the extra stuff. And it's just like, I don't agree with that. Not for a mobile game. If it was like an if it was like an MMO or something, monthly thing, is that EA is not going to release constant amounts of content just because I'm paying for little stuff in the game. They're trying to recoup their money, but am I going to pay the same amount by the time I'm done if I were to pay all those in-app purchases? Probably not. I'll probably end up paying more than the game is worth. Just my 2 cents on the subject.
AMD, in-app purchases, games in general, are not in-app microtransaction games.
Depending
Plants
on
vs.
how
Zombies,
the game
Garden Warfare
is done. Here's the thing. I'm okay with microtransaction if it's stuff like the way it's done in Dota and League of Legends. Those are both, and Marvel Heroes. Those are all microtransaction based, but everything that you can acquire without microtransactions. Microtransactions might help you acquire the things faster, or they might help you get cosmetic things which you can't get. Now, making the game's balance require paid items, or making it almost virtually impossible to go through the game? No, that isn't okay.
Yeah, I agree with you about cosmetic things, or, increasing getting later level stuff faster. That's all fine with me. I don't care. I mean, I've spent some money on League. I'm not going to say how much in front of the wife over here, but, I've spent some money on League and on other games, so, yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But making it pay to win or pay to advance is just what irritates me.
Pay to win is a lot like how, Diablo 3 at one point had become, because it was cheaper to buy gold than to farm it, and the drops were so bad you had to use the auction house.
Exactly.
Now, Sertas, or Kai, what do you have to say on this one? In-app purchases, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare.
I pretty much stand with AMD on the, I think if you're going to have microtransactions, for the bulk of them, it should not be anything that will severely advance or increase your status with the game. I agree that, being visual stuff, perhaps small little bonuses, to me, that's acceptable. But, making it a requirement or making it available so that you could advance so much over someone just because of the amount of money you put in the game, I don't agree with that.
Wait.
We don't care what Sertas has to say on this, right?
You shouldn't.
We shouldn't? Okay.
Nah.
Sertas, you got anything to add, or?
It to me, damn. Sorry.
Yeah, there's just a horrible area. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, that's all right. I was trying to get out the way. That's my fault. To me, all these in-app purchases, it reminds me of my favorite thing to hate, which is free-to-play games.
Ah, very, very true.
That's what it reminds me of. Being able to, anytime you can take and be the richest, if you got money and spend it and make yourself better in the game, no. If you're gonna buy in-app purchases,
that's not free to play. That's pay to win.
I'm aware, but it still reminds me of free to play. The reason why it reminds me of free to play is because it's typically a lot of free to play games act that way.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, I just don't want to be involved in a system that does that. Okay.
Well, we'll see how well that holds out for you in the future.
Like, I'm fine with the free-to-play market the way League does it. So.
Yeah, I agree with League.
Well, I mean, League is actually a pretty good free-to-play market. I'll give them that. But it started out free-to-play. See, something.
No, actually, I believe it originally did have that you did have to buy it back in the day.
Buying a client and paying a subscription. If you buy a client and don't have to pay a subscription, that's free-to-play.
Well,
because Guild Wars was like that. You had to pay for the client, but you didn't have to pay for anything inside. You didn't have to pay for anything inside the game, so that was free-to-play.
Well, that's kind of different. I mean, the company is fueled by the client purchases, but we're talking about something that's totally free off of like your cell phone, your tablet, or something that they're totally paid for by in-app purchases.
I don't really have, like I said, I've played games where I've used in-app purchases on my phone, etc., 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 and I don't really have a problem with those type of games unless those in-app purchases give you an unfair advantage over somebody else simply because you had the money. That's when I have a problem.
For
the most part, the reason why I had a problem is because I'm broke and I don't have the money. So there we go.
Yeah, it kind of irritated me. I used to be huge into Facebook games, and I played Farmville religiously. And it made me so mad whenever people would be like, "Oh, I have all this stuff, and I'm getting, my crops won't wither, and they'll instantly grow." And I'm like, I can't afford to pay for that. This is stupid. Just, and then they give all this special stuff to people, and I'm like, it's just unfair, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you, AMD.
Well, yeah, if it's a single-player app, like you'll see most of the apps on like a tablet, then it doesn't affect anyone. Then I'm less bothered by that. Agreed.
Oh yeah, if it doesn't affect anybody but me, then I don't care, because that's just part of the game. But if it's a competitive game, or even if it's a co-op game, I still don't think that it's because you give somebody an unfair advantage. Single-player games, you can do whatever you want to.
Getting retracted here too.
What's that?
Well,
few people's man cards are being revoked here.
Got it revoked and torn up and shredded.
Oh, great! Knew I played Farmville. You should have known that by the way I played Minecraft.
Oh, I used to play Farmville, and I don't care. Y'all can tear up my man card.
Doesn't care if you have a man card.
I don't care either. I used to play
He
Farmville.
lost his man card a long time ago.
He has my soul, so what am I to worry about?
That's true. It's very, very true. I do.
Are you collecting souls again?
I take souls
stops.
all the time. Yeah.
Greedy bastard. Oh crap! Run, Sertas, run! You are greedy, sir.
When you work for him, you have to turn over your soul first thing.
Yep.
Damn. First thing in the morning. Soul collection. Thank you.
All right. So that was going to... How about this one? The aerial search was called off for the Malaysian airliner. So they're no longer sending out planes to scout the water and look for debris floating on top. But the underwater search is being expanded, and it could take up to 8 months for it to be fully complete. Shouldn't they have found it by now?
I would like to say that floating on top...
area. I mean...
If it was on the surface, they would have found it by now.
No, you're talking about a large area. They have nowhere idea where this damn plane...
A large cubic volume of ocean, they don't even have an idea of where it went.
Yeah, I mean, no.
That's going to be hard to find.
I don't even think they have an idea, really.
They don't.
No one knows.
They have no clue, which is ridiculous. They really should just stop the search.
It's still it is kind of amazing, whereas you can have a satellite that can, read a license plate number off of a car, but we can't find a plane.
Well, I think it's the coverage area that we're not usually focused on their tracking. We're more focusing on what's going on in our areas as opposed to constantly checking, the 75% of the planet that's covered in water.
I just think...
I know, I've been to some remote parts of the world and in deserts, and your GPS has no idea where you are.
And sometimes they even put fake GPS routes in there just to trick up other people that are possibly stealing their software. Like the bat symbol, wasn't it, up in Wyoming? Somewhere way up there in the north. They had a bat symbol road, which is kind of amusing to me.
But Wayne Enterprises knows a lot more than you know.
I just say it's high time that they just stop the search. Stop searching completely. Okay?
It's gone.
If you had
gone.
somebody who was on that plane, do you think you'd feel the same way?
Huh? Yes. I would feel the same way.
I'd get tired of keep them being repeatedly brought up. I mean, I'd have tried to
Or
have my closure
abused
by
by
now.
the news sites for ratings. I think that's what I'd have an issue with.
I think,
Steve,
Kai, to be honest with you, I
just
think
can't tell us.
if I knew
Steve
somebody on
says-
that plane, yes. If I had a loved one that was on that plane, yes, I would just because they keep searching, and so in a way you keep having, they setting up hope.
You're not going to get closure. You're not going to get closure.
You're not going to get closure. They're not going to find it either. So it's better to move on and try to. It's better to start moving on to heal than to continue to be reminded of it because they keep searching for something and they're not going to find it. The fact of the matter is the system is anytime. Look, you would think they would have learned their lesson about securing things after 9/11. But no, what you do is you put it right in between the two pilots where they can turn off the transponder. That's retarded.
This was Malaysia, Sertas.
We just had a guy who went across who smuggled, I think he went towards Hawaii from somewhere in the U.S., who somehow managed to walk past airport security.
It ain't that hard. I mean, what you expect? You paying guys $8 an hour? You expect them to be vigilant? No. Who gonna sit there and be vigilant? And
I had an airline guy who was ready.
I can't tell them,
Who wanted
Steve.
to search? Who actually set me down to be searched completely because I went to Britain, and pretty much what happened. I got off the plane, take my bags, go to customs, sit there, meet the customs guy. Where'd you go? London. Where'd you go? United Kingdom, London. That's it. All right, that's fine. Then he's like, he puts me down, and I'm about to leave customs. Like, no, sir, we need you to come over here. We have to inspect all of your bags. It's like, all right, fine. Waited for a good 45 minutes. The inspections guy comes, and he's like, wait, where did you come from? And I was like, London, United Kingdom. He's like, there's no farms in London. I'm like, yeah, of course not. The only thing we grow is dog poop and pollution. And rain.
the only thing y'all grow is what?
And then
Dog
the
poop
guy
and
was
pollution.
like, yeah,
Nice.
the employee was just being a jerk to you. He was just being a jerk to you. I'm going to look through your bags, but don't worry. And he just opened the bag, looked at it, and left. And he's like,
So
some of these guys are really jerks, dude.
Steve says he knows exactly where the plane is. He just can't tell us. So
Greats, put it back. Greats, put it back. Take it out
Greats,
of your
put it
basement,
back.
put it back right now.
Holy crap! I think somebody should just beat Steve and get it out of him.
how about we just waterboard him?
I'm gonna miss you, Steve. Prepare for the ass whooping.
No, I'd rather just Greats start singing.
You want me to start singing to get Steve to give it up?
Oh no!
Hey.
I can start singing. No.
You want Steve to give it up?
Military
What?
connection. So Steve's implying it's a conspiracy here.
Really, Steve? Ain't that low hanging
I know
fruit?
what happened.
We had conspiracy
It's the
week 2 or
Jedi
3
Order
weeks
again.
ago.
God damn
so-
it, they're trying to take over. You should have known the Jedi were trying to take over.
No.
All right, let's.
Hey, great. So you familiar with the movie where they take that whole airplane back in time because it's going to crash and what it is that they're trying to like save people for the future or something? It's a movie from the 80s, and they take people that are about to die into the future because they're trying to repopulate the Earth. Does anybody know what I'm
Is
talking
it
about?
called Noah's Ark?
No.
No, damn it. There's this movie came out in the 80s where there's this team of future like time travelers and they go back into the past and where people are about to die, in car crashes and train wrecks and stuff, and they take them to the future to repopulate the Earth. So that's where the plane went. They
That's where
took
they all
the
are.
plane to the future because they need the people.
And before Disney retconned
Oh, Steve's conspiracy. Steve has conspiracies. He says the U.S. military has it. Somehow, I don't really doubt it. I think they're going to
can't really listen
fly in another tower and then strip away all of our privacies. But we're going to move on from this topic.
Oh, careful! There's a goblin here, guys.
Live action Street Fighter web series in May.
Just a quick question: How many of you guys have seen the live action Mortal Kombat web series?
Never heard of it.
I have seen the Mortal Kombat action web series.
Oh,
I actually liked it
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Same here.
They just need to do more.
There is. Next season's coming soon.
Mortal Kombat has a live action web series, which is really, really good, in my opinion.
Oh, God, amazing.
I just want more Ruby.
They actually put a story to Mortal Kombat.
So I'm gonna drop the ball and say you realize that I have seen not a single complete Mortal Kombat movie or game.
That's okay.
What? You wait a minute. That's okay with her. You hang me for not seeing Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And I've seen the Mortal Kombat movies, all of them.
Yeah, you're on the losing end of that.
There's only 2 Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh no, I'm dying. I'm dead.
I thought there was 3.
Somebody save me! Save me! Save me!
2. Why are you? Whoa, my God, dude, careful!
You
Those
think?
back group's blinded.
Save me! Holy crap! Can't believe I survived that. All right, what's the next topic?
1 second.
You're not bringing up any of the topics I want you to bring up.
I'm waiting for Lady Fedre first. Okay, calm your down.
Why are you waiting on Lady Fedre?
Because I want her opinion on some of these topics. So anyhow, in general, though, you guys have heard of a lot of web series. We have The Guild out there, Legend of Neil, many others. Mortal Kombat 1.
Legend of Neil. What's Legend of Neil?
Blue?
Red vs. Blue. Legend of Neil is a story about a guy being sucked into the video game Legend of Zelda.
Oh, I've seen stuff on that. Okay.
Husky Domo.
Continue.
Hey,
Husky Domo in the house.
Domo.
Husky.
Sup?
So, you guys thinking this is more and more a popular trend, especially for indie producers?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
The whole Rooster Teeth series, all of them, were indie produced.
Rooster Teeth. Look at how a lot of these casters and commentators in esports, they come off of YouTube. Husky,
Cyanide and Happiness.
Hey, we have Husky in our channel right now.
Well, that's HD Husky.
Oh.
Yeah, Day 9 is hilarious.
Can I pretend it's the same Husky?
I don't even care about StarCraft
Banelings.
that much, but I love listening to Day 9 because he cracks me up.
Husky, we need you to sing Banelings. Come on, do it for us, Husky. Do it.
Do it. I command.
And I was like, come on, you can sing the rest.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I don't imagine he does either.
It's that one time I linked you a song and you died in Diablo. That song. There you go.
That's
guys.
happened more than once, so that doesn't help.
No, I've only linked the song once. Only once. I don't link songs.
But you've linked multiple songs and I've died as a result.
I'm sorry.
Alright, we'll move on to our next topic here. Google may be behind $1 billion in taxes to France. Now,
who cares?
Well,
yeah.
Listen to the story, okay? And you can tell me whether or not they're right or wrong. Because we're just determining whether or not Google should have to pay for it. So, Google was negotiating contracts with French companies through Google's French office. So they were selling stuff to the French people, writing out the contracts in French and everything else, and using French laws, and then sending them over to their Ireland office and having them signed there. So, they get the contract already and then have final signature.
Well, that's probably where they're
approval.
That's probably where their European branch of operation would be.
But hold off. Mm-hmm. But they sent them over there for final signature, and then they're saying that those contracts are not eligible to be taxed in France because they weren't completed in France. They were done over in Ireland, so they're not responsible for tax based on being in France. They're responsible because they were finished signed over in I would exactly. That's what it is.
They're both EU countries. I'm not too sure what the laws are with the European Union, so that's out of my league.
Each one is a separate taxable area.
My common sense meter says that's a load of crap. It's a load of crap. If you did all of the good faith negotiating and all that in one country, and then the only reason why you having to sign in Ireland is so that you avoid paying taxes, it's a load of crap. Pay the damn taxes.
That's just like wealthy people putting their money in like Virgin Island banks so they don't have to pay income tax.
Right. It's a load of crap.
Mine underneath great bed. But I don't have money. I have moldy bread.
I have bitcoins underneath Grace's bed.
Bitcoins are virtual unless you get the special one that has like the barcode and stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what he's saying. You got.
That's what he's got under your bed.
No, I'm saying that it's under your bed. Yeah. Because I've been there.
Right.
Oh wow.
If you can fit under my bed, Wolves, you are a lot smaller than I've seen you be.
Wow.
Ouch. I don't know what to say.
I don't care. I'm a fat man.
I say that Google pay up the money. Hell, they make enough of it. Yeah. You know what? They wouldn't have no problem paying if they stopped suing the hell out of everybody over dumb patents.
Well, if you want to talk about companies that sue over dumb patents, I hear in 2 years Apple's planning on suing the fruit, and the color white.
Them damn Macintosh apples are mine. What the hell?
They're even going after the color white and the square and the rectangle and the 90 degree.
Wow.
Right.
Everybody's got jokes.
I got a achievement something. What this
Anyhow. So we all agree that Google should be paying.
Elitist.
I mean, I would go by whatever the international law of the European Union says. I don't know it. I don't study law, so.
Well, according to the articles,
none of us do.
They're separate tax areas.
So. Holy Jesus!
But then, how would
is
international thing work between countries like that? I have no idea. So,
I
usually avoid business stuff.
It's completely separate. There is no tax law for it.
That
would be a tariff.
If there is no tax law or tariff, then if they don't have to pay, then by international.
France is calling their BS on this one.
But I mean, see, that's the thing. I would let the courts handle that one. I have no idea.
Well, none of us have an idea, but that's why we're talking and speculating about it.
I would do whatever the legal thing is, whatever the way the international courts would decide it.
Google is even admitting that, France probably has us on this one, but since we'll probably negotiate with France on this, we're not going to have to pay out the full $1 billion.
1 million or 1 billion?
1 billion with a B.
Pay the damn money. Shut up. Jesus.
Yeah, so they're going to probably end up paying, a few $100 million. But, nothing really super significant. They're going to negotiate down
you're talking to someone who's going to be biased towards France.
Yeah, see, the thing is, Google's headquarters is plated in gold.
Yeah. All they got to do is pay off one or two officials and,
you know what, guys, to be honest with you, it didn't even have to be Google in France. It could be any multinational corporation and another country pay the taxes. If this happened anywhere, didn't matter who it was. If it was Microsoft and Belgium, I wouldn't care. Pay the damn taxes.
Fully agree.
If it was Apple and Fallujah,
North Korea,
pay the damn taxes. Yes. Whoever it is, pay the taxes.
As long as the tax laws are spelled out properly. But they're trying to use tax loopholes and creative accountants, and that's done throughout the world. That's why we
I'm
talked
aware,
about it last night,
and that's part of the reason why the world is so messed up now, because everybody's trying to get something for nothing. If you do something, you did something in good faith. Part of a contract is good faith. You did the contract in good faith, knowing full well that the laws of that country says you got to pay the taxes for it. And the thing is, what you said, Grace, is we know France has us on this, but we're gonna negotiate it down. No, so you knew when you knew when you did it that you were doing something you wasn't supposed to do, but you figured you would go ahead and keep doing it until France got tired of it, and then you can negotiate the fine down. No, don't do it. If you know you're not supposed to do it, then don't do it. That's the honest thing. That's the right thing. Just don't do it.
We got his rant, guys.
Also, you got some gaming history in the.
I will add a rant to that one because
I got gaming history in the chat. How come I'm not seeing this?
In the in-game chat.
Because you're not in the game.
Oh, in game chat. Got it.
If you want to, he was saying.
Yeah, I see it.
I guess we could go this way.
It also reminds me of the song. Damn it, I can't remember the name. It's like Monday.
Sertas, your stream paused.
Monday for Chicks
shouldn't have.
Did you alt tab?
Oh yeah, I'll tab out so I can update the rant meter. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. No problem.
There's probably going to be the boss spawning very soon.